Alright traders, I am back again with another video, and in this video I want to look at the Euro Aussie short trade opportunity, looking like we're bouncing off of the Tinkinson level. So we're going to talk about this trade op setup, but it's pretty much going to be a lot of basic Ichimoku right now, and we'll look at a couple of different concepts, but we're going to stick basically to the basics here because that's what this is. So we'll go over these basic things that we're looking at real quick, and then we'll talk about our setup here. So we're looking to trade to the downside, right? So the first thing we're looking at is what are the signals telling us. First thing we have is our TK crossover, which is right there. So you got a death cross right here because your Tinkinson cross below your Kijinsen right there. And we're following right there. All right, you have price inside the cloud, which is neutral signal, which is turbulence. But then we have a future still that's bright also. And then Chiku span is bearish because we broke below this price level here. And we're below this Tinkinson, which is very good, and this Kijinsen, which is super good. So we don't have anything really to worry about till we get down to this level here, which would we find cloud support. All right. Now the reason I'm saying we're going to take this trade, even though we're inside the cloud, when we get this, we'll get this turnover probably when this candle goes a little lower or closes. All right. So we'll get the TK crossover here. But I'm looking at this level here. We're inside this level right here. And what you had here was this hangman, and we've been trading inside that level. So we want to see price close below that level. All along, price loves to follow this Tinkinson level. All right. So here's the Tinkinson. You had a nice bounce right there. And then price stayed below the Tinkinson, never came above it, or well, never really closed above it. And then you see here where we stayed right with Tinkinson, never closed above it. We rejected that level and fell to the downside. Now, some of the good things about this is look at the Tinkinson angulation. When you get into a trade, you want to see that because that's your short-term momentum, and that's showing us that we have some momentum to the downside. So that's a good thing there, but we want to close below this level. Because aggressive traders are going to trade this level, okay, you can, but I would trade the close below that level because we don't want to get caught inside this level here. All right, but I think, you know, I like to trade the close to make sure that we have a break because that's what you're going to call it, a break. If it's not a break, it doesn't close below. All right, so let's go to the 4-hour time frame to look at this really quickly. All right, but I love the things that we're seeing here. We were in a nice move to the upside, and then we got this pullback here, but I don't see signs of price changing direction back to the upside yet. All right, so let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And then the 4-hour time frame, you could see some good things too. Price had a pullback here, well, a correction basically, because we had this downward move. We corrected like we did here, then another correction here, and then another correction here, and then we pulled back. Now we found support, we found resistance here at this Kijinsen again because price dropped lower. We couldn't violate the 4-hour cloud. We dropped lower, and then we found resistance at the Kijinsen here. All right. Now, looking at that resistance, you got a flat Kijinsen, you got a flat Tinkinson. Don't love to see that on the 4-hour time frame. All right, look how flat we are here. So that's going to be some resistance above us also. So what you're looking at here is basically we can wait because we're, again, if you go to the 4-hour time frame to refine your entry, and that's what all we do is go to the 4-hour time frame. So now we could talk about our entry a little bit different. So now when we get this point, we could wait for price to close below this level. All right, so if we close below this level, or even if we get you may get a bearish engulfing here. If you get a bearish engulfing, you definitely just take the trade. But we have this box here where price is inside of this one candle. So as long as it stays inside that candle, there's no opportunity. I mean, yeah, as long as we stay inside that candle, there's no opportunity. But once we close below that candle, that's where we want to get into the trade. Now, if price comes up and closes above, then take everything I told you off the table, and we'll wait and see what the market's trying to do here for us. All right. So that's what I'm looking at. So my entry would be on the 4-hour time frame now because I can box this one candle in and then trade outside of that candle and then trade to the downside. Now, how am I going to find my targets? All right. I'm going to show you your targets right off the bat. So when we look at the 4-hour, we could mark a level because you always want to get past support and resistance. Look to your left to find your targets. All right, so that's going to be my first level, but I like to do these on the daily. So we definitely got to get past that level, and we got to get through the cloud. And I'm going to show you what else we could look at here. And then also we want to get past this level here. This is a support level. All right, because you could see this was support here, then it was resistance here, and then resistance here, resistance again. So definitely when we look at price moving through here, we definitely probably going to see it get to this point. If we look at a good trade, this would be a definite level that we would look at taking good profit. And if the market can prove to you that it's going to go lower and get through that point, at which point it probably pull back, you could also look at the market going a little lower. So mark to your next level. If you can get through there, then go to your next level, go to your left, keep looking to your left, find your support and resistance levels, and just mark them. And then till you get down to this point, we may see the market get to that point eventually. All right, but do you have the kahunas to stay in the trade that long? Got to have the big kahunas. All right, but now we're going to look at another way to look at your targets. All right, I'm not going to listen to some people tell me that this is wrong because they don't understand, but this is how we find our targets. So first of all, you have a V pattern there, and then we develop into the N pattern. That's the target we're looking for. So if we looked at a trade up in this area, because you had inside trading right here with this box, and then you see the market have a hangman here, then you close below, the market dropped to the downside, your first target would have been this N level right here. Ichimoku levels are NT, N, V, and E levels. Well, the market came down to the V level perfectly. All right, but then if I didn't get that trade and I looked at the market from this point and I caught this trade right here where we had a bearish engulfing, then my target would be, we look for the market, we still would be looking for the market to come down to this level at least before we see a pullback, and then here and then here. All right, but now when we look at this level, because we already have a 1, 2, 3 pattern, so we have 1, 2, 3. We want to look for the market to get down to here before we see some kind of pullback, or then we get to these levels here. All right, but always look to your left also. I put Ichimoku numbers in here. That's how I use the our tool to find out. So what I'm basically doing is I'm using this fib extension tool with Ichimoku numbers. All right, so I use that fib, that trend-based fib extension tool to find my Ichimoku observation value numbers, like my N value, my NT value, my E value, and my V value, and those come off of looking at Ichimoku waves, much like Elliott wave a little bit. Now the thing here, what did I want to tell you guys? I did say this, that you could also wait, I believe, but you can wait till you get this crossover and you get a close below this level, because you have a Kumo breakout, and at that point you may get a pullback, but because you saw where our NT or our N level was, but you may get a pullback, but you're still going to look at that. You could trade, instead of what I'm saying here, you could trade your Kumo breakout trade. Now this is a very big stop loss based on the daily time frame. Can you afford that stop loss? If you can't afford that stop loss, you can't afford the trade. But you go down to the 4-hour time frame, and if we can refine our entry, we cut a little bit of the stop loss down for you. All right, that's why we want to go to the 4-hour to refine our entry and see if we can get a lower risk, because we lower our risk with the lower stop, with a smaller stop loss. All right, so that's what we're shooting for. So definitely want to get into this trade. You want to get past this level here. That's going to be the first thing, and then start shooting for the next levels that I told you. So this is basic Ichimoku stuff, but I like this. I mean, we're boxed in here. We wait till we get outside the box. If the market's not going to follow us, it's going to go back inside the TK zone here, because you got your Tenkan-Kijinsen zone. The market will pull back up in there and violate this point. And at that point, you know I'm wrong what I'm telling you. And then we'll start to reevaluate what we talked about, see what else we may look at. But since we got a, this death cross here, which is a very good thing, I want to just stay with the mentality of the TK crossover. All right, and Chiku span has nothing to stop it until we get down to here. So pretty good opportunity. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learning something. And come visit me at fx@oneglance.com. And I appreciate you. Until next time, have a great one. God bless. So long.